All right.
You, ma'am.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to our favorite part of every episode, our fan segment.
And today we have a Q&A, a straight up good old-fashioned Q&A. You guys got the Q's?
We got the A's.
That's right.
Answers.
Perfect.
Come on.
That's right. So
Let's see what people
let's throw
ask.
some up here on the screen, and we will see what you all want to know.
Wow, this is something I feel like that comes up just about every episode. I'm curious about for you, Sterling, because when we started the show, you did have your two boys, but Amari was a teeny tiny little baby.
And for those not watching on YouTube, if you are listening and you like that sound, the question from Chris Funko Pop, first of all, I know about Funko Pops, Chris. Don't think I don't know. How has rewatching the show changed your view on parenting?
Changed my view on parenting. You know what? I think I was sort of in the pocket of how I felt about parenting.
Sure.
Not going to change.
No, I'm pretty stiff and rigid in most things that I do.
Some might call it fossilized.
Yeah.
Calcified.
In my ways.
I think if anything, like it's sort of like has given me permission to be more forgiving with myself.
There you go.
Like I think that's like, even if your best efforts, mistakes will happen.
Yeah.
Mistakes don't mean you haven't done your best. It's just part of life. Yeah. Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah. So the same grace that you would give to a co-star, to a friend, to your child, you have to learn to give to yourself as well.
Sure.
That's what about you guys?
I mean, I think as you've brought up many times, Chris, like this show is a manual for how to live life. And I feel like as a parent, it does just that as well. Like there's so many times during episodes where I'm like, wow, I haven't even thought about that chapter or that juncture of being a parent and what childhood must feel like. We're so far away from that, but like this is such a great example of how to handle it.
Yeah.
I have found myself saying that about Beth and Randall, obviously in later seasons with Toby and Kate, and with Jack and Rebecca, obviously. It's really, that's been illuminating to me, is like, wow, this is when we do find ourselves in these kinds of particular situations, this is the perfect way to handle something.
Yeah. I feel like it's reminding me to slow down. And to not just to appreciate the moments for myself, but to allow these moments to sink in for my children, even if they are pre-memory or whatever. Like just this morning, Aoife wanted to be held, and she wanted to be held in a way that was like a baby. Like she's now a toddler, and but she like laid in my arms, and a lot of times these days, like I'm rushing around, I'm trying to get out of the house, you need to eat, you get dressed, and I need to just remember just to stop and just let that moment be, and just let her lay there and just gaze at each other, because I'm not going to get to hold her like that for much longer.
No, you won't.
So I really think that the show is helping remind me of that on a daily.
I love that. And also, have you guys seen, I feel like I've seen this like meme on Instagram a lot lately, like, yes, it's your children's childhood, but it's also your parenthood.
Yes.
Like stop to appreciate that as well.
That's right.
That's really
so
good.
I feel like the show is also in that same vein, like a great reminder of like, this is our one and only chance of being a parent to a toddler who still wants to be held like a baby on occasion. Like, man,
Oh my God.
Amen.
Crazy.
Okay.
What's next? Yeah.
This
is from Olivia RA13. What was everyone's favorite couple/ship on the show? I'm a Kevin Sophie girl all the way. LOL. Is there I guess you can pick a favorite Kevin ship because he had
so many of
them. I don't like to compare and contrast like the other couples on the show, unless we're talking about Philip and Kate versus Toby and Kate.
I mean, all love to
we already know, big homie.
Yeah,
we
I'm
already
like,
know.
all love to Chris here, but come on.
But I mean,
cool.
it's really hard. It's really hard to beat Randall and Beth.
It really is.
It's really hard. Even as incredible as the romance between Jack and Rebecca is.
Why do you say that? I'm curious as to why you say that.
Because,
and if you believe that.
I believe that.
Do you?
Yes.
You guys have to tell me why.
Because I think I love it because we get to see both, really in depth, get to see both sides of the relationship. The before.
I hear you.
And the after. So like we were just talking about parenting. Like we could see the way they were parented and the way they are parenting.
Sure.
And there's something about that, the fullness of that, the telling of that story, and the way they're doing it, and the attitude they have towards each other, and the love they have towards, and the sexiness that they have towards each other.
All of that.
I want more of.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, it's so very different than Jack and Rebecca.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get enough of the two of you on screen together, even when there is repair to be addressed, even when we're in the phase of Randall and Beth just sort of like missing each other, like two ships passing in the night.
I don't want to say I love seeing Beth be mad. I do want to say I love watching Susan
be mad. I think there's so much comedy to what you guys are able to bring to the characters that's not really a part of Jack and Rebecca's gig. Like that's not who they are. It's just not. It's not who I am. It's not the way those characters were written. Yeah, exactly. But you guys got to have so much levity and so much fun with each other.
A lot of lessons there.
Yeah, and the way you parent, like, it's just so interesting. Again, like watching this sort of like delineation between like who Randall was, where he came from, what Jack and Rebecca instilled in him, and then how he translates that into being a parent, that I think is just really illuminating as well, that I love watching.
Yeah, no, that's all good. That's good stuff. I love them too. I'm biased, so that's why I had to ask you. Like,
we're going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it at that.
We don't need to get into anything else.
On to the next, R&B.
This is one of my favorites. Now, does Mandy Moore exist in the This Is Us universe? Did Kate sob through Walk to Remember like the rest of us? This is a valid question, because a Walk to Remember, or just Walk to Remember, Walk to Remember would have been a Kate Pearson movie.
Sure, but I am absolutely saying she does not exist. I do not exist in this weird sliding doors. No, I think there's just like...
It would have been kind of a nice little nod to be like, watching them rock out to it.
Oh.
You're like, no.
Yeah.
No. Kate was an Alanis Morissette girl.
Probably.
Mandy Moore was like way too dorky for
Facts.
her.
She's pretty emo.
Yeah, she was like not watching TRL.
Yeah, Alanis in public, Mandy Moore in her room.
I was watching.
Reading Bop magazine.
Yeah. What's the next one? Who we got?
Debbie!
Biggest insecurity and how you find peace with it. Also, favorite thing, quality about yourself. Oh, Lord. You're giving
this is
softball question.
Yeah, exactly.
That I'm not good enough
I feel that.
for anyone.
Yeah.
For my children, for my wife, for my friends. I need a lot of reinforcement from those people. And I try very hard not to put that on them.
Yeah.
Children, friends, wife, family.
I hear you.
While still trying to get it, which is a tricky balance. Because I also so how I find peace with it. I haven't found peace with it. How I try to handle it is I try to be honest about it.
Yeah.
So that if family, friends, not so much children, I don't need to put that on them just yet.
That's to come.
But I will say when either one of them just walks up to me and puts their arms out and wants that hug and comes in for that big squeeze, I hold them and I just go, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm just honest about it.
As you're showing right now,
is the best way that I can come to peace with it.
What about a favorite thing or quality about yourself?
My ass.
I'm not going to argue with that.
No, it's a flatter buttocks.
It's still that's something for me.
I've told you this. I being in the gym, my back, when I catch myself from the rear, my back is always bigger than I think, and my butt's always smaller, which I'm very disappointed in. My favorite thing or quality about myself, that's a hard one for me, which is also probably one of my big insecurities.
So insecurity. This is going to sound, this is real. Boy, I didn't anticipate going to that.
If you say your abs, I swear to God.
No, but it has to do with just being physically attractive.
Okay.
Because growing up, I did not feel attractive at all.
Okay.
I had very few people who, in my opinion, that were checking for your boy, and I have very low self-esteem with regards to my appearance. I think being in the Midwest, being a dark-skinned black guy, where like folks who are fair-skinned sort of got more attention, were called the pretty boys or what have you. Mm-hmm. Like, I did not feel attractive until later in life. And then sometimes when people say like, hey man, looking good, I'll be like, right on. and sort of like dismiss it to just keep it moving on to that.
yeah.
I think it's one of the reasons why I probably started working out was like, well, I want something to look good on me, and at least I can have control over that. All right, so that's that. Biggest favorite thing about myself is that I truly do believe that I try to elevate the energy of whatever room that I'm in, and make it a more positive experience for myself and for anybody else that's in it. I just feel like life is too short to be not striving or trying to be a beacon of joy. It just feels good. It doesn't always mean you're gonna be happy, silly giddy, but like you can like hopefully know that you're in the presence of warmth and love when you are in my presence. So that's
That is felt.
to affirm you on both cases. First of all, I want you. Physically.
Chris is in love with you. To come full
Physically.
circle.
you're just
Physically, you're one of them. Go on. You're just like, cut it out. You're a very attractive person.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And I mean that on all levels.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do elevate
Agreed.
the charisma of the room. All ships rise when Sterling is in the room.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I often like refer to you in my mind. I'm like Sterling for president. Just truly, I'm like, if anyone could unite this crazy world that we live in, it's Sterling K. Brown. Everything you just bring
Remember
to the
that,
planet. Yeah,
if
it's
you're
like at
watching,
all
listening.
times.
Thank you, Amanda Lee Moore. You have to answer now
Yeah.
too.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
I kind of feel in line with Chris about the insecurity of feeling like enough, feeling deserving
Yeah.
of all of the incredible gifts that have sort of come my way in this lifetime. How I make peace with it, just working in therapy, talking about it, being
Okay.
honest, being vulnerable,
Yeah.
not shying away from it, not feeling like the work is ever sort of done. And recognizing like this is something that I will carry around with me probably forever or for the foreseeable future, and that's okay. Like I think it informs the way I move through the world and the choices I make, and I'm okay with that for the most part. When I can like dig a little deeper and recognize, start to like excavate, where does it come from? When did it sort of first sort of show up?
Yeah.
It definitely has roots in like my childhood and being a young person and things sort of coming to me in a way that felt, seemingly easy.
Yeah.
And so like there's a lot wrapped up in that.
I hear you.
I would say my favorite thing about myself is also hard. It's hard to talk about
Okay.
what my favorite thing is. Maybe the kind of friend I am, the kind of partner I am, like hopefully the kindness I try to show to the people that I love in my life. That's something that matters
That's
to
real.
me.
I think it's very interesting that what these things are kind of it collides with what we talked about in the last question about this is our parenthood, and we're not only parenting toddlers, we're reparenting ourselves through the process of parenting, and trying to work through these things, because even if these are insecurity is one thing, and to acknowledge it is helpful for me anyways to be honest about it. It only becomes problematic when it leads me to mistreat myself
Yeah.
or someone else.
Yes.
Right. If it informs the way I behave towards my children or my partner.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to
or-
model that to my children.
Right.
Sure.
But also to realize that how old a feeling it is. Yeah. And that these feelings don't belong to us anymore.
Yeah.
But they still exist.
Yeah.
Like we still remember. Sometimes I think it's just me remembering what it felt like to feel that way.
Yeah.
And I
Sure.
don't actually
Gosh.
feel that way.
Sure.
That is
I feel you.
And
profound.
and to like let it go, to let the feeling pass, and to realize that feelings aren't facts.
Yeah.
Amen.
And you don't have to take that on.
Right. They come, they go.
Yeah.
There's ups, there's downs.
Yeah. You can
there's-
just take notice of it. And be
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
let
an
it wash
interesting
over
feeling.
you. Kind of
And-
like in
and
meditation.
let 'em
or
go.
something.
Let me
Yeah.
say, so just to affirm you, Mandy Moore, I remember I was having a conversation with Mark Duplass, and I did this movie with him. This is, he goes, who do you think, like in your cast, what I'd be surprised about, that I would want to work with that I don't know that I want to work with? And I was like, you want to work with Mandy Moore?
Oh,
And I said, Mandy Moore is one of the hardest working people I've ever met. And like the thing that I think about when I think of you, and maybe this comes from the feeling of the things coming too easy, is because no one's going to outwork you. So like you don't show up like a diva or what people would call a diva. Like you show up prepared, ready, and locked in. Like, and I describe in terms of the way in which you love and care for the people who are your tribe, there's a fierceness about you. Mandy Moore Brooks, no nonsense. Let it be clear.
Brooks, no nonsense.
The
I'm gonna
cuteness
take that
of the
with me.
cheeks, the beauty of the face. Don't let it fool you. Mandy Moore don't take no mess. And it's not a difficult thing. It's just like if somebody is out of pocket.
I remember that. I remember
Mandy
the
Moore
first
will
time I
let you
saw the
know.
switch where Mandy was like,
You out of pocket.
"We're not."
You're out of pocket.
There's a shift.
You're out of time.
There's a shift. Yeah. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we are not
Moving
doing
on.
that.
Moving on.
Thank you, Sterling.
You're welcome.
That means the world.
Real talk.
Thank
Real
you.
talk. That was a little Q&A.
I didn't realize that fan segment was going to
Listen,
go so deep.
I didn't either. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of the magic of the show, right?
It really
the magic of the kinds of questions that our show elicits from people, and they're curious about with us, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to be able to answer them.
And if you want to go there with
Yeah.
us,
Come on.
send us your emails at thatwasuspod@gmail.com. We want to hear how you relate to the show. We want to hear your questions. We want to know what you want us to talk about so we can have this discussion with you.
Or you can call us on our emotional support hotline at 412-501-3028.
Leave us a message.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll call you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a little
We've been known to
conversation.
do that.
Yeah.
We look forward to connecting with you. Hope you guys are enjoying rewatching the show and watching us talk about rewatching the show as much as we've enjoyed doing it and sharing it with you.
And really, if you want to support the podcast, rate, review. This is the way. Subscribe.
Yeah.
This is how the podcast, we spread the word. Help grow the show. Tell one person to subscribe along with you. And you can also support our sponsors.
That's right.
There's a great way to support the show.
Amen.
So thanks for tuning in.
Thanks
Yep.
for tuning in. Good to see you guys. We'll see you next time.
See you next week.
That was us,
Later.
baby.
That Was Us is filmed at The Crow and produced by Rabbit Grin Productions and Sarah Wareheim. Music by Taylor Goldsmith and Griffin Goldsmith.